Welcome to Hypnotherapy with Regression Demonstrated, taking a client from I've never met them to they've got the outcomes that they were looking for. Our demonstration subject is Cece. This is one out of a series of 5 YouTube videos extracted from my courses. To get the full versions, get my initial courses, Hypnotherapy Demonstrated and Hypnotherapy with Age Regression on Udemy or at my website. For advanced courses and personal hypnotherapy sessions with me, go to my website, the Past Life Awakening Institute. This is video 2 of 5, the first session with a hypnotic induction and regression to positive resources. Hi, welcome to the call.
Hello. Thank you. Good morning to you, I think, right?
Yes, yeah. Good evening to you.
Yeah.
Today we're going to focus on the positive resources, go with whatever comes up, and we'll just deal with whatever comes up. A pre-session interview was done, but omitted in this YouTube version. It is given in the full course version available on Udemy or at my website. Now we're ready to recline and relax. So you ready? Is that okay with you?
It is absolutely okay with me.
Right.
Oh, it got dark out. Okay. Just let me know if you're able to hear me. And
okay, yeah. So give me a mic test.
Check 1, 2.
Okay, that's good. Okay.
Is it okay?
Yeah. So proximity is fine. And so, are you ready to experience a formal hypnotic state now?
Yes, I am.
Okay, great. So now you can take a couple of conscious, deeper breaths. You can breathe in, choose to breathe in, and then allowing your eyes to close as you decided to let them close. And you can have the intention for your eyes to close, and you can intend to breathe. And breathe a little differently to normal. You can breathe in slower and deeper. So taking a conscious, deeper in-breath and holding it. So you can notice the space in between the breath. And then letting go. Exhaling, releasing, letting go. And then again, another intentional breath. Because you breathe consciously. You can breathe consciously. Often we breathe subconsciously. We breathe and we don't know that we're breathing. But now you can choose to breathe in a new way that can relax. It can energize you on the in-breath. And you can notice there is a space between your breathing and a choice to exhale. No matter how energizing an in-breath, sooner or later it's appropriate to release and let go. To notice a space and create a space for a new breath to come in. You can be aware of your body lying there. You can be aware of your head supported by the pillows. You can be aware of your hands at your side. And so now you can slowly just bring up, I think it's that left hand, just at half the normal speed. That's it. So bring up the left hand at a 30-degree angle. So you can see the fingers there. That's it. And then pausing there and breathing. And then bring the fingers together and squeezing. So slowly bring the hands together into a little fist. And bring your attention to tension in the hands and squeeze tighter. Because soon you can release any bound up tension in the fist. But as you squeeze tighter now, squeezing tighter and tighter, soon you release. Finally tighten this fist as tight as it can be and then release. And that's it. Letting the fingers expand and the hands slowly go down to the side. And letting the hand just float down to be supported there on that. And feel the material under the skin. Notice the contrast of relaxation. Because you can become aware of tension and then release it. So your hands and fingers can be loose, limp, and relaxed. And your hand can float and drift deeper down to be supported on the surface. And as you exhale, that feeling of releasing can flow through the forearms up to the elbows. flowing through the shoulders and down to the other arm, down, following the sensations to the other hand, so you can hand over to a sense of your body breathing for you. Whether you notice or not, it'll keep breathing for you. And you can be aware of the release of tension that can flow through as your breath goes through the throat, down to the lungs, and your awareness can flow through to the knees and to the feet, where you can bring your attention to the muscles and the feet and the calves. In 4 or 5 seconds, you can tension the calves and the feet. Be aware of the muscles there, tension them, squeeze them, tighten them, hold them, squeeze, tighten, and release. Allow that tension to flow out of the muscles of the feet and the calves. And let any of that tension drain away. And then you can be aware of your core, your quads that have a strength to step forward in life, that allow you to move forward step by step. And your core, your abs, your shoulders. So if you can find that core, your quads, your abs, your shoulders, if you can find a way to be in touch with the muscularity there and to squeeze and tension, to activate those muscles, to tension them, squeeze, tensioning, tightening, and exhaling, releasing and letting go. So your whole body can release and let go. And sometimes there's little tension we didn't even notice, but you can give the instruction to your body to release and let go and know your body's supported there. So maybe it's just a tiny muscle in your face or neck or shoulders or back, where you can go back to a sense of really floating and allowing yourself to be supported there. So as you go into that physical relaxation, you can also access a mental relaxation. So you can follow these numbers as I count backwards from 5 to 0 with 5. Aware of the weight of your head and even your eyelids and your eyeballs can have a tendency to look upwards and inwards towards your forehead. And with 3, it can be a feeling down deeper into your heart beating, sending warm, loving energy through your body. With 2, aware of little areas where our body pulses, can be with energy as well. So flowing down to your legs, the soles of the feet. You can feel a heaviness and relaxation through your body. It can grow and flow. And paradoxically, there can be a lightness that comes in too. And as you allow your awareness of those sensations in your body to go into specific areas, it can expand also to sense simultaneously your whole body. As you do that, if there were to be a calm, cleansing energy that had a color, what color could that calm, cleansing energy be for you now?
Purple, light purple.
Light purple. Okay. As you breathe in, imagine that light purple and feel that color of calm, cleansing energy flow through your body. As you breathe in light purple, can you scan through and notice if there's any residues of stress, tension, anything you can exhale, any gray, anything that can bring in that purple. Can you exhale, release anything? And if so, what color could that have?
Brown.
Okay. So notice that purple can be brighter, clearer, more and more powerful as you inhale it. And as you exhale, that brown just gets lighter, more transparent, and dissolves away. So let your color of calm, cleansing energy go deeper, surrounding your whole body like a healing, protecting cocoon of light. It creates a powerful protective layer of light around you. So is it like dissolving, dissipating, cleaning away any of that brown? What happens to that now? Does it get clear or turn purple?
It transmutes to purple.
Okay, so notice that transmuting process. You can be aware of that color within and surrounding your body. And you can visualize or imagine colors and images form. So now I'll invite you to imagine, visualize, or feel a staircase with 10 steps that can take you down to a door that can open to a safe, comfortable white room where you can access your inner wisdom. So, first impression for you, what's the color or texture of your staircase?
Marble white.
Notice that marble white and imagine or feel your feet stepping down, going down deeper with every step. 10, 9 with every breath. 8. And how does the marble feel on your feet?
Solid.
Notice the solidity with 7. To go down deeper with 6. So with 5, your subconscious doesn't mind that with 4 we can get to the bottom, and 3 can be ready to come to that door. It can be a little ajar, and can you begin to open that so you can step through with 1 and be there now. So first impression, that door, what color was that?
Brown.
As you go through that brown door, that take you into that white room. And can you find there a comfortable chair?
You find a sofa.
Okay, a sofa. That's great. You can create, imagine, and let what comes to you be the right thing. So on that sofa, can you imagine this is a room where it can be like a home cinema screen? And on that screen can be a relaxing scene, like a beach, a lake, a garden, or a favorite place in nature. So back on that sofa, comfortable, laid back. What's the scene that comes up on the screen?
Sunset on the beach.
Okay. So noticing the sunset on the beach. And is it okay to step out into that scene, to be on the beach, and to feel the sand underneath your skin, the breath of the sea air? What happens as you go through into that?
I feel the sand squishing between my toes.
Okay.
I hear the waves on the sand.
Yeah.
Feel the blast of the sun. It's getting cooler.
Yeah. Okay. So notice what you see, hear, and feel. The sun on the skin, cool, refreshing, the sand supporting you. And in this place, this is a place in nature like your true nature, where you're connected to your senses and you're connected to a universal quality where that sun is also a star. And you know it's setting, and it all go soon and it'll be night. But you know also that's subjective, that the sun is always there. That subjectively we have night and day, and we can enjoy the beauty of these transitions. And it's in this place, a place you can access your inner wisdom and can have the space to tune into the wisdom and beauty of the world around us. That's it. So what happens there as you take the hand to your heart?
It was moved on my heart for me.
Okay. And so you can take this moment and bring that to your heart and to embed this in your heart to remind you and remember the infinity and beauty of the world and planet we're on, the fleetingness of some of these moments. They can be gone and forgotten, but you can be in a timeless place where there's something called an eternal now. And this moment, this wisdom, this beauty and peace can be something that can be fleeting in one sense, but can stay with you now. It can be part of a background essence and understanding, part of a calm, clarity, confidence, and peace you take to heart and keep with you in your being, regardless of what you're doing. And that's why we're here, to set an intention today, because we can look back at what were fleeting moments in the past. They may have stuck with us in certain ways. Some things can be helpful, some things can be unhelpful. So we can deal with many of the issues we've discussed, but we can gather resources to deal with those. So now it can be a time also, and I was about to ask explicitly for your spirit guide to come and assist you. It seems like they've done that by that movement implicitly already. So you think it's appropriate or helpful to explicitly ask your spirit guide to help you on this journey based on all that we've discussed in our last today and before?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, great. So we thank your spirit guide and your inner wisdom for being here, for taking this beautiful moment and taking it to heart so you can have a calm, clarity, confidence and peace within you. And you can take that forward to all the sessions we're going to do. Suggestion with visualization. See how I apply this script. And we're here because your subconscious mind is working with you so you can help achieve your goals in new ways, which is for giving you back past resources. And so, in for getting past blockages, that is why you're here in a hypnotic state, so your subconscious mind can get the suggestion that you are here and ready with the intention to improve your relationships with yourself and others. And so that's it. You can have that intention there. And you're here, you've decided to focus on issues that you had with people and yourself. And can be some things that we can give words and phrases and labels like loneliness, self-isolation, dark clouds, like the brown. We can also notice there can be an intention to step into your power, be assertive, be worldly, intuitive, nice, have clarity on who you are and stand up for yourself. And so there can be some things in the past that you're ready to go beyond, to put in the past and to move on from. And so in this place, maybe you can see, we had a movie screen before, maybe from this place on the beach with this power, there can be a little black and white TV screen. Can you imagine, TVs used to have black and white programs on them. Can you imagine some scenes that illustrate this past loneliness, isolation, dark cloud, anxiety? Can you see that on a little TV screen? Maybe off in the distance a little bit, just playing some images from the past. So what happens as you see those on that little TV screen?
I'm by myself. I'm curled up, hunched over. I realize I'm by myself, and I seem scared. The girl seems scared, or just
Okay.
she doesn't know what's going on, confused.
Yeah. Okay. So we will soon be able to communicate with that part of you to bring clarity and to understand the body language, curled, hunched up, confused. But part of the intentions we're setting now is knowing there can be a part, and we'll deal with that explicitly. But for now, we can notice just the sensory, like you can be on the beach, the sand beneath your toes, the sun on your face, and cool, refreshing breeze. So you can notice there can be that little TV screen, which is we're here to deal with some issues, but we're also here from the past. She's a little girl. We can notice now there's an adult and powerful woman, assertive, with a desire to help others and a desire to help in herself too. And we're allowed to do that. So if there's a movie screen that can be big, bright, and clear, that shows the woman who's got a positive body language, she's assertive, she's in the world, she's having fun, standing up for herself, enjoying. If that can be on a big, bright, clear movie screen, what images come up for that?
Wearing a suit.
Yeah. And how are you standing?
Standing tall.
Yes.
Proud. Happy. Solid.
Yes. Notice your body language, your clothing, tall, proud.
Put together.
Yeah. Tall, proud, solid, put together. Okay. And what are the kind of quality of thoughts you have there?
I'm happy. I feel good about where I am in this world. I feel happy with things I've created, the world I've created around me.
Okay. Feeling. And so even I asked, what are the thoughts? And you're like, hey, feelings, man. I'm happy with what I've created around me. There must have been thoughts of, I want to create this and that around me. But one beautiful aspect of thoughts is there's an effortless and automaticness to them, isn't it? Where was it an effort, or do you have to consciously figure out and analyze, or was it just?
It just is.
Yes. So there's a great clarity in that. It just is. And so that's an antidote to confusion or effort or strain. There's a clarity. It just is. And I'm happy about what I've created around me. And so you can notice within us, we can all have conflicting things, light and dark, good and bad, helpful and unhelpful. But you're here to notice some of the things that we'll work through. And they can be on that little black and white TV screen. Maybe there are browns involved in that. But then there's this big, bright, clear movie screen with purples and a suit and proud put together. And it's got feelings of happiness and thoughts of clarity. And I created this. There's a thought and intent in there. And so there's an action. Maybe the things you reacted to in the past and you're curled and hunched over as a girl, but here you're standing up, proud, tall, clear, creative. And so notice these things. And so we can acknowledge the black and white TV screen, but for now we can have that to be further off into the distance, fuzzy, fading, out of focus. Because and that can be a symbol that lets us know that old thing that's from the past, it's old-fashioned, out of date. We can put it into the background. We'll deal with it specifically later, but for now it can go into the background. So when we do deal with it, We'll be dealing with it through the reality of this quality you have at your core now. And so bring that movie screen closer, clearer. Let those images be clearer. Notice the details on the suit, the cut of the suit, your body language, the way in which you stand tall and walk, the happiness, the spring in your step. So as that gets brighter and clearer and more details come up, notice the behaviors, emotions, thoughts, and let that play forward. Maybe there's some audio, a soundtrack, the sounds around, the feelings within. Let those inner feelings of happiness, maybe there are colors or warmth connected to that. Let that grow up, get brighter, clearer, stronger. And so what happens is that movie screen gets bigger, brighter, clearer.
At first, it was colder compared to the little girl scene. But as I keep on going, it gets warmer and warmer as I realize I'm going to travel and I'm able to travel.
Yes. Beautiful. That's great. So let warm into it. Absolutely. And so sometimes things feel a little less familiar or habitual, but you get more and more used to it. So this becomes, I'm warming into it. It does get brighter and clearer the more I focus in on it. And so let this warmth, this familiarity, this becomes part of, oh yeah, this is part of a choice. And we know we'll deal with the other stuff later. But and what happens to the old TV screen? We don't have to wish it away, but we can certainly move it into the background and put it in its place. So it can be small. Maybe the sounds get lower. It's fuzzier. So what happens to that old TV screen?
The little TV screen is very little on a stand and wheels, and it just rolls. It rolls further away.
Beautiful. So it's got wheels that can roll further away. It can be in motion. And so sometimes we feel things are stuck or blocked, but this has got wheels and it can roll. And there's a natural tendency wheels want to roll, and it can. And so you're doing great. And so this means that you're using the language of symbols and images of your subconscious mind. And we can say phrases like, I choose to improve my relationships with myself and others. And that's some nice words, but we can now visualize it. We can feel it. We can know less of that, more of this. So today becomes a turning point where you're communicating with the autopilot inner programming and learning to drive your subconscious mind. So less of that rolls off into the distance, and more of this gets warmer, brighter, clearer as your confidence, clarity, peace, and connection to that grows. And that feeling of warmth, standing tall, proud, happy with what I created, my actions, can react to certain things, but I can create proactively. So that feeling, that purple, that power can grow more and more with 5. And you can take this feeling, this symbol to heart with 4, with 3. So you know there's the power of the sun and the eternal now, that beauty of that good feeling. Then there can be with 2, this background sense that these processes are working for you, bringing in your powerful resources to the forefront. So this gets deeper with 2, 1, and very deep with 0 now. So you've set a direction, an intention, very powerfully at many levels, consciously and subconsciously, visually, kinesthetically. And now we can go to a time or place where your mind can remind you of places in the past, because you can access memories in your subconscious. Regression to water. So soon we'll go to a time or place in or around water. This can be from months, years, or decades ago. It could be a swim in or by an ocean, a river, a lake, or on a childhood holiday, or days or weeks ago, even just splashing and washing your face. So let one specific moment of being in or around water come to the forefront. 3, 2, and let that one be the right one. Bring it into focus now. First impression. Whereabouts are you there?
I'm in the lake.
Okay. What age are you there?
9.
Okay. Okay, and 9. What time is it? Morning, afternoon?
It's afternoon.
Okay. So notice the sensation of the water. Is that refreshing? Is it warm?
It's warm.
Okay, that warm lake water. So notice what you see, hear, and feel around. What are the sounds there?
The water splashing. The water moving as I'm treading it.
Okay. So where are you in that water? You're treading water,
I'm by the dock.
Okay.
I'm standing on the rusty pole that brings the dock together.
Okay.
But it's okay.
Okay. And so you're out of your depth in the water. The water is deeper than you are tall.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you're treading water, splashing around, swimming. And so there's, and are you alone or with people?
My brother's around somewhere.
Okay. He's around somewhere.
He's in the water
Okay.
somewhere.
Okay. So he's around somewhere. Are the adults around somewhere? Is what?
It's just me, my brother.
Okay. They're not watching from a distance or anything that you know of?
They might be inside the house looking through the patio door, but
Okay.
I don't know.
That's great. So the main thing is you're there splashing, treading water. Brothers around somewhere, folks are around somewhere, but I'm here treading water, splashing in the warm lake. And how do you feel there?
I love it. I feel like me.
Yes, perfect. So I love it. I feel like me. And what does me feel like there?
Free. I can move my body how I want to. And if I want to jump off this and swim deeper, I can. If I want to do a somersault, I can. I can laugh. Yeah. And it's okay. I can do whatever I want and it's okay because it's fun and it feels good.
Okay. Okay, great. So notice that freedom, the sense of being me, of loving it. And I can jump, I can somersault, and water has that wonderful quality where it'll hold you up and you can tread water in it. But it's not so strong that if if you hit the ground, then there's no give in it. There's give in water. But will hold you up to a degree as well. You can float in it. So it's that freedom. You can do whatever you want. So notice and let the sensation of water soak and saturate through you. Let this be refreshing and healing. And the qualities can come to the forefront of what it means. So you can, as you continue to enjoy that, you can notice the sounds and colors, and your subconscious picks up moments that are meaningful and have a teaching element to them. So we're here to improve relationship with yourself, and you can connect with yourself. Who I am, you can feel this is me. I'm free. I can do whatever I want and have fun and feel good. And we may think of ourselves as being a certain way, but this is a great way of reminding you who you are at your essence. And there can be a solidity in the world and in people and in our bodies. But we can forget that in reality, the human body is really 60% water. You can tune into the fluidity within you. You had that eternal moment of your heart on that beach. And now this water, this freedom is really part of who you are, and literally physically the majority of what you're about. We can say, oh, planet Earth's a tough school to learn on. Well, guess what? Planet Earth is mainly ocean. There's a lot more give in it. There's a lot more freedom and beautiful, nourishing liquid. It's planet ocean we live on. 70%, that's the majority. Yes, there's some earth. The majority is this fluid ocean. And we can think of ourselves as our conscious mind with our limiting beliefs or our things that we carry with us, but our subconscious mind is really the majority. So you can tune in to your subconscious. You can tune in to your true self that is free, can do whatever it wants and can be happy. And so as we go through those realizations, what feelings or thoughts come with that?
Not being judged. It feels nice. It feels so nice to think how I think. And be around authenticity and be around people who actually really care and are sincere.
Yeah.
That's a great feeling.
Okay.
Trust, safety, security. Like a warm blanket, you know that's it's just safe.
Yeah.
You can let go. I can let go. Because it feels safe.
Yes. Okay. These are resources, abilities, feelings that you have within yourself. And I can let go. So these are resources that are going to be helpful. So we'll in future, there will be things we specifically let go of. But for now, we can notice the power and resources you have to deal with all those things. That there's a sincerity in your own self and your spirit guide. And in this process, we can go through and that can help us. And so your mind can take to heart these feelings and thoughts and resources and can bring them more and more to the forefront in the coming days, weeks, months, and years. And they can help us through, as we'll be dealing with some things where it's useful to have these resources. We can remember now, you can recall this time at 9 in the water, and now we can regress to a new time or place. So you can keep with you all the emotions and realizations from that time. Regression to success. And we can move to another time or place. That's it. As you do that, next we'll move to a time or place where you had success in your past. So this can be related indirectly or directly to the issues, the things that we'll eventually let go, but you had times where you had difficulties with maybe relationships or a dark cloud or a loneliness or a social anxiety. A time where you had success with that, and maybe you didn't even know it was success. Maybe you were just naturally a standout person on a beach. Maybe you just naturally had something brush off your shoulder where someone who was not insightful said something like, or there can be a time of success where I could create and be and do what I wanted. And maybe I wasn't reacting to anything. Maybe I was just free to act and create the world around me with my standing tall and proud body language. Maybe it's a time you recognized you had success. Maybe it's a time other people pointed out and said you're successful or a standout in this way, and you didn't even notice. Maybe there's a time you're in a flow of activity that would turn out to be a success, but you realized, oh, it's because I was just in that flow in that moment, and you can recall that moment before you even put a success label on it. So I'll soon count from 3 down to 0, and you can recall or imagine any form of success, days, months, years, or decades ago. That can be something you do, or simply a feeling you have. So with 3, a time or place of success can come up with images, feelings, and sounds of success for you, whatever that word means. So with 2, letting 1 come up to the forefront now. First impression in that moment, what comes up there?
I'm sitting in my boyfriend at the time. I was sitting in his apartment in the living room.
Yes.
And we just finished a big photo shoot. I was a photographer. And he said to me how now that I've done something big, that it seemed like I just was trying so hard anymore, and I was just at peace and calm. Where before I was so focused, and now like as if I conquered it, but I let go.
Okay.
It was calm.
Yeah. Okay. So there was a project, photography. There's a lot of things you had to get done, and there's a lot of steps you took. But this moment is realizing I've done it. I've achieved it. I've put in a lot of work, but now I've got the result. And that result for some people can be, oh, what's next? Or, but now for there's a sense of peace and calm and completion and satisfaction. Is that right?
I didn't notice it myself until it was brought to my attention.
Okay.
And it was correct.
Yes, exactly. So how was it brought to your attention?
My boyfriend at the time was telling me how I was behaving.
Okay. Is that, and what was his name? Was that drum or bass or?
No.
Neither. Okay. So a boyfriend brought that to your attention. So and that's interesting, isn't it? Because we can have success, but not really notice success, or not acknowledge it, or celebrate it, or bring it into our heart and allow that to give us a calm and peace and fulfillment. But you were able to get that thanks to the assistance of somebody else. And so we can once again have this pointed out to you. So there are often times where you may doubt yourself or think there's a lot to be done. I don't know if I've done it, or did I do a good job before? Am I going to do a good job again? And there's a part of you that can be there, and it can point out, hey, you've done this before, you've done great. A lot of people enjoyed it. And it can point out, so you can have success and know the success. And that success, it doesn't bring an inflation or anything excessive. It just brings a calm and a peace, which is a really great way to respond to success. So is it okay to do that? And that, for me, your subconscious is telling you, hey, you've got much more success in you, and you're more successful than you know. And so you deserve and are allowed to feel a background peace and calm. So is it okay to take that message from this scene?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so as you take and accept this background peace and calm, an acknowledgement of success that you already have from a lot of work that you've done. There are many things you've done in your life that have led you to this moment. I think we can acknowledge the success and actions you've taken till now in creating and being the person that you are, and to acknowledge that, and sometimes we can have a background anxiety, worry, doubt, and sometimes we can just have a background peace and calm, and maybe that peace or calm comes once we finally achieve something. But is it okay to have some of that peace and calm even in the process of doing? So maybe we don't even have to wait until the moment where it's all done, but we can carry some of that into every step of even the actions we do as we keep acting towards further successes. Does that sound okay to do that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, great. And that would still enable you to have an edge and be artistic and be motivated. You can still do all that with peace and calm.
Yes.
Fantastic. So notice that moment. And so in your words, what can that tell you about the feelings and thoughts you have during times of success or working towards success?
I speak for myself, my actions, my words, my feelings of feeling secure. I don't need to try to work harder to try to make that happen, because it already is, and I can feel safe going with what is.
Yeah.
That's enough.
Yeah.
I'm enough.
Okay. I can speak for myself, my actions, feeling secure. It's not about trying harder. It already is. I can feel safe with what is. I am enough. So that's a great realization and insight to get from that moment, that time, finishing a photo shoot with another person in a relationship, an ex-boyfriend, but one that was time. Life in many ways is fleeting, and yet there can be key moments and ups and downs in our interactions with people, but this is one of those interactions with people, an intimate partner, where that helped me realize I have a success, and that gave me a moment of peace and calm. So whatever else was around, all of our interactions, that's an interaction that I can recall and keep and bring to the forefront and be grateful for and acknowledge. So there's a beautiful moral to that story as well, which you, regardless of how you got to it, it's got you to this point of wisdom that I can speak for myself and my actions. So your relationship with this other person helped point it out. So we can be grateful for that. But it's another thing that happens when people are praised. They may not accept a compliment or not understand it or discount it, but you didn't. Your relationship with yourself was good and clear enough that you know, yes, that is true. I've been praised or I had my success acknowledged by another. I can acknowledge that for myself as well. And I can have a real clarity. I don't have to try harder. It already is. I am safe and secure. I am enough. I can speak for myself and my actions. These are all very wise realizations you got through accepting that acknowledgement then, and you've been able to recall that in this moment. And that's a very powerful and symbolic and useful thing to recall at this time with the intentions that you have. And so now you can have that scene, that moment in time can fade, but the emotions and realizations and wisdom from it can stay with you, and you can take and keep that to heart for the days, years, months ahead. Regression to a relevant resource. Now it can be one more time, another time where you can go to a resource. And it can be a time where it can either be a time of confidence where I know I can do it, or a time of peace where everything is okay. What, and these can be within yourself, or a time of connection with yourself and others. So as these words go by, let your mind find a time of confidence, peace, or connection. So a 3, going back to a specific time or place. And there are many to choose from, but your subconscious can pick out one. Confident I can do it, at peace, everything's okay anyway, or connected to myself and other. So maybe it's like, so letting one come to the forefront. Now, first impression, what comes up there?
I'm backstage of a club of the House of Blues in Sunset.
Okay. And what are you thinking or feeling there?
I want to give the artist who's performing a book of photos of himself and myself.
Okay. Okay. And how are you feeling there?
I'm feeling excited. I know that I'll be able to give this to him.
Yeah.
Or get it to him.
Yeah.
And I just am.
Okay. And what age are you there?
25, maybe 25.
Okay, 25. Notice your body language, your breathing, your thoughts. I just know. I'm excited. So how is your body language and your energy there?
I'm fluid.
Yes.
I just am.
Okay. Can you step into that? Just notice that energy. And is that kind of, that's really me, that kind of feeling?
Yes, I'm there right now.
Yes, I'm there right now. So be there right now. Step into that and notice. This is that you were 9 and you were in the water floating free to do whatever you wanted as a child. This is an adult version. I'm fluid, she says, like water. This be like water. This is flowing. I'm just me. I'm there. And so step into the feelings, the thoughts, the body language, and other thoughts. Are they just flowing and clear? Is there any confusion or doubt, or is there just a focus and a flow?
There's just a focus and a flow. There's no confusion.
Yeah.
Everything's good. Everything's okay.
Yeah. And so as you play it forward, what happens next?
One of the musicians comes up and I ask him if he could give the artist this book, these pictures. He looks at them and he sees one of himself and he asks if he can keep it. I said, of course.
Yeah.
But can you please give these to so and so? I'm sure you might see him later on. I was being cheeky, flirty, and it was fun. And then I bump into the artist and he says, was that you? I said, yes. And it just feels good. It's
beautiful. And how did that moment come to an end? Was it the next day you're just looking back and feeling satisfied, or what else? What happened? How did it end?
He asked me if I was going to be around after the show. I said yes. And then he left for the show. We watched the show, and then that was it. And that was it. It was perfectly fine.
Okay. And so that's a moment where you actually, I said, confidence, peace, or connection. And it's like Here you feel you're connected with yourself. I'm fluid, just being me, flirty, fun, putting myself forward, standing up for myself, putting myself out there. But I'm also connected. I'm giving something, photos of them, and reaching out to them. And I'm confident. I know I can do it. I know I can connect with them. And I'm at peace with whatever happens. And so notice that as a confidence piece and connection, it's part of your being. These are skills and resources you have. And so we can acknowledge, and can you give yourself credit? Look, I got asked for a kind of a confusing 3 stories. I did all 3 of them in one. I did great.
Yeah. Yeah. It's nice to see it that way. Yeah.
And this is a nice way of reminding you of who you are, what you're about. It's nice to be a 9-year-old who's free in the water, but here you're an adult who's free in a whole environment, and you've created this work, this art, this photography, and you have made it into something.
Yes, I'm making it happen. I'm not allowing myself to be passive.
Yes. And so tell me more about that.
There's no fear. There's no worry about consequence because I'm just having fun. Everyone's having fun. Everyone's trusts. We trust that we know we're having fun, and there's no one has any ulterior motives. We just know that. We don't need to explain it.
Yeah.
It just is, and it feels so good to not have to try to justify or explain because people trust
Yeah.
and it's supportive.
Yeah.
You're spending more time. I'm spending more time focusing on the fun instead of worrying so much what people are going to think.
Yeah. That's beautiful. No, you've done great. And you're here because we can take some things and put them onto a black and white TV screen, explaining, justifying ulterior motives. Oh, on the black and white TV screen, out of date, old fashioned, brown, exhaling, but inhaling, bringing closer, brighter, clearer, being, being not being passive, being proactive, having fun, trusting, breathing in that purple, that cleaning, cleansing energy. So you're bringing in, you've done great in this session. You've been able to see the symbolic and powerful reason this scene of confident peace and connection is a resource, and it's an antidote. It's an antidote. This is what is, and it's an antidote to the things we're moving away from. So your subconscious has beautifully got these teaching stories that can take the black and white TV screen of the things we can move off into the distance, and it can choose this fun and the antidote to not having to justify, explain. We're supportive, we're having fun, we're trusting, we're in the moment, we're doing things, and you're being proactive. You're not reacting to what other people are thinking. You're just creating and acting, knowing that you're coming from a pure, powerful place. And you're there as a woman, as an adult. And so you're doing great. And so any last conclusions or thoughts as you look at that?
Life is good.
Okay. Life is good. And so you can notice the symbolic connections between these moments. You started off, life was good, just sitting at peace on a beach with a sunset. And it's good to be floating around and free to do whatever in the lake. And it's great to be in a sea of people, washed over by music and the energy of performance. and you're witnessing people perform, but you're also performing and showing and presenting your art and your creation too. And so you can see the connections between these stories and how they all add up. Just as your one story encapsulated confidence, peace, and connection, the stories of the lake and the sunset and the artwork that you've done, and being seen and acknowledged and given credit for the work that you've done, and I'm safe and I'm enough, and a past boyfriend brought to your attention how well you've done. So now this whole session can bring to your intention, life's good. There's ways of being that are better in some ways, and so I can choose more of this, less of that, and it can be a fun and an ease. And you can bring this kind of energy to the sessions that come and follow too. So there can be an ease, a fluidity, a fun, and it can feel good, and we'll be able to go through not that, more of this. And so, but for now, you've done great. You've been able to state clearly your goals. Your intention is to improve your relationships with yourself and others. You'll be able to release any old dark cloud, self-isolation, loneliness. You'll be able to see through old behaviors. You can move away from an old black and white TV screen. You can bring in the powerful, assertive woman, worldly, intuitive, nice, and stand up for yourself. And you don't have to take things personally or bounce them off your shoulders. You can be free and stepping out of an old prison, remaking it so you can be in the world skillfully and joyfully. So you've got all these resources. So you count from 1 to 5, and at 5 you can come back to full waking consciousness, feeling good. So any last thoughts or reflections? How do you feel there?
I like it. I like this place. I like this place a lot. This is me.
Tell me about those feelings.
I'm free. There's no walls around me. It's a wide open space full of possibility. A blank canvas, if you will, wide open. And it's mine. It's mine to do, to be me, to color how I want, because it's good. And it's love. And it's trusted that that's who I am. I don't have to worry. I don't have to question. I get to just be free. And it's okay.
Congratulations. Yeah, anything else? Yeah. That's plenty for now. You've done great. But yeah, if there is anything else you can say.
Free is free.
Free. Fantastic. You've done great. And so count you up from 1 to 5. And at 5, you can come back to full waking consciousness, knowing you've done great. You've set a powerful foundation for moving forward. And so with 1, you can be aware of your body in the room around you. With 2, you can wiggle your fingers and toes. With 3, breathing in a bit deeper. So with 4, exhaling and getting ready to open the eyes. So with 5, your eyes can pop open. You can come back to full waking consciousness, feeling good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, eyes open, feeling good. And how do you feel? A laugh is a good answer. Interesting experience.
Yeah.
Post-session interview.
So things that I just assume they just are, but it's okay to acknowledge them as significant, wonderful things and not just It's not passive. I'm responsible for these great things, and it's not just happening to me. I'm making them happen, and it's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. Exactly. Beautiful.
Oh, should I sit up again?
Yeah, good idea. When
Sorry,
you're ready.
makeup's all over.
That's okay. Yeah. So well done. So, like as we said, this first session is really gathering a lot of those resources, and you can see that how powerful that is and how helpful that's going to be moving forward. Yeah. And so, do you have any? Was anything surprising to you? Any highlights in the session?
I don't give myself enough credit for a lot of things that I do. I see myself as kind of just there, but I'm doing things that are good, but it's okay to acknowledge those as well, that I don't have to be just there, that it's okay to take credit for things too sometimes, and not just be so humble where I don't know. I don't know how to explain it really.
That's great. And that's great because you explained it beautifully with all of the metaphors and images and symbols and times and places from your subconscious. And now I'm asking you to sort of analyze it consciously, and you don't have to do that. But you've got the point of this session. So it's like the intentions to improve my relationship with myself and others. And this is like giving yourself credit. And this is why this whole session is structured like this, because most people don't do that. And it's really powerful to do it. So that improves your relationship with yourself. Then that makes your relationships with others are transformed pretty automatically anyway. And we can address some of the specifics of why we feel the way we do and other things, but that's for another time. But we did what we said we wanted to do, which was gather all these resources. And you found it, you've got a ton of resources there. You've got like creativity, ability, and confidence, creativity, and you came up with some really great insights. And they're going to be really helpful resources. So when we do, we've seen a lot of light, and we're going to go and find some areas of darkness or shadow and shine a light on them. But you've got so much light within you and so many resources and abilities that when we do come to any darks or shadow, then they're just going to get blasted with a whole lot of light, and we'll be very clear and very capable when we get to them. So that's all we need to do in this session. You did it perfectly. So congratulations. Well done.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Yeah. So any last reflections or any thoughts, any highlights, anything that surprised you, anything was interesting coming up?
I've got permanent goosebumps, happy goosebumps right now.
Excellent.
So yeah.
Excellent.
I'm in the state of happiness and just lighter. I feel lighter.
Okay, perfect. And there were like almost some little tears of joy there already.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Okay, so you did great. So yeah, so we're on track. And so we've got a 3-part process. Part 1 we did perfectly. Part 2 we'll get on to next, but you can give yourself a few days to like let this sink in, enjoy it, and so so we can schedule the next session. But for now, you did great and well done.
Thank you. Thank you.
My pleasure.
So I'll get an email with the Zoom link for.
Yes.
Okay, excellent. Thank
Beautiful.
you, Mark.
My pleasure. Thanks a lot.
Have a wonderful rest of the day.